Spider-Man has more than a few video games dedicated to him, and to be honest, they all haven't been too great. They all have their differences. Some of them are great video games, and some of them feel like they were made by a 12-year-old. But that said, all of these games try to answer the same question. How do you make the player feel like they are the one behind the mask? And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Also, I will include what these games got right and what they messed up on and how they all connect. All of these games share the same basic things. You swing around New York, you beat people up, and you wear different Spidey suits. It's the same common theme, but each game does it differently. Let's start with the early modern games. The 2002 Spider-Man movie game was cool for 2002, but the swinging mechanics didn't make sense. Your webs would stick to the sky, and there was no realism to it. Fast forward 2 years to when Spider-Man 2 dropped. The swinging actually felt skillful. The swinging physics mattered. This set the foundation for all the Spidey games that we would follow. Ultimate Spider-Man had faster movement and it lets you play as Venom for the first time, which was pretty cool. The missions were a hit or miss though, but overall the game wasn't too bad and people enjoyed it. Developers were in their experimental phase when they made Web of Shadows, Shattered Dimensions, and Edge of Time. All of these games tried something new. Some of the things they added was cool, and other things they were a mess. Out of these three games, one stood out from the rest. Spider-Man Web of Shadows had it all. The new movement mechanic was web zips. The ground combat was great, and they added wall combat for the first time. With all this put together, it felt like Spider-Man was on a whole nother level. There was a black suit swing. Ah, there was a black suit switching mechanic and a moral choice system. With all that said, there was definitely some issues. Like a lot of other Spider-Man games, some of the missions got repetitive. The city felt empty, and the voice acting was terrible. Some people say it was the worst voice acting they have ever heard. Web of Shadows really pushed the series to what it is today. It introduced faster combat and more freedom. Future games would follow this trend. 2018 is where the future of Spider-Man games would change for the better. The game company, Insomniac, took everything the older games tried to do well and mastered it. The swinging was smooth. Combat was smooth. The city of New York felt living and breathing. And the story was emotional. The swinging is so good that people would just hop on the game to swing around the city. Not even do the missions, just to swing. Think about that. What other game do you know where people would just hop on just to move around and not even do any other cool things? That's how great the swinging mechanic was. This game had the best swinging mechanics ever. And then the combat felt fast and powerful and a Peter Parker type story that you would see in a movie. Not gonna lie, if they was to make this a movie, it might be the best Spider-Man movie ever. But there are some downsides, like every other Spider-Man game. There were a few missions that felt like chores, and too many stealth missions where you play as Mary Jane that nobody asked for. I hated playing those missions. I'd rather be Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure everybody else thought the same thing. Even with this being said, Spider-Man 2018 is arguably the best Spider-Man game ever created. Then we got Spider-Man Miles Morales. This game had aura. Side note, this was my first game I played when I got my PS5, and I beat it in 3 days. But yeah, back to the main topic. The music, the cool swinging mechanics, and the winter setting created a never before seen that you have never seen in a Spider-Man game. It was a crazy Spider-Man game experience. It just felt unique. Miles wasn't that reskinned Peter Parker. He's his own superhero. He had his own powers, his own personality, and his own cool vibe. His Venom powers made combat feel fresh and cool. He had good emotional moments, and it was one of the best atmospheres in a superhero game. The main concern about the game that it was short. Like I previously stated, I 100% completed the game in 3 days. After paying $70 for a video game, I would hope to not be able to complete it that fast, but it is what it is. But overall, Miles Morales brought a never-before vibe to the Spider-Man video game franchise that none of the other games could capture. When you put Web of Shadows next to Spider-Man 2018 and Miles Morales, you can really see the evolution that the games took. Swinging went from feeling clunky to becoming art. Combat went from spamming buttons to needing skill. And the stories turned into actual narratives about responsibility, identity, and family. At the end of the day, all these games had the same goal: letting you be Spider-Man. And everybody wants to be Spider-Man. Can't deny it. He's the coolest hero of all time. I'm Spider-Man, actually. But yeah, some games get it right, some get close, and some miss, but they all came together to help shape the games that come after. Without those terrible games back in the early 2000s, we wouldn't have the great Insomniac Spider-Man games that we have now. And that is why I believe all of these games work together to create their own Spider-Verse to help tackle the main thing by just being a fun video game. Thank you for watching.